All right, here we are. We are here after a huge, I almost said W because it kind of felt like it. We're here with a draw. And I was talking to Ariel Costa in the chat earlier, and to him, that means a W, that we got a draw with our kids on the field and no DPs to field. So, you know what? I'm kind of inclined to agree. I'm going to say that's W, so I'm going to have my my W drink out tonight. Take it away, AJ. It's an entire giant goblet of beer. It's like 3 beers worth in a cup, or whatever this is, a glass.
I thought you were gonna say whiskey or something, or mead. That would be.
Oh yeah, no, maybe for like when we win a championship, we'll break the really good stuff out.
Break out the mead. I mean,
the mead, yeah.
Break out some 1700s.
All the mead in the mead hall.
Yeah. Oh man, that'd be amazing if yeah, alcohol could keep that long. That'd be kind of gross. But what wasn't gross was this result. I think we played like we were the better team. They smashed and grabbed their goals, that's for sure. But ultimately, there was maybe some justice to be had a little bit. But yeah, Atlanta United, we just love conceding early and scoring late. It's just we're like that. We're like Goosebumps or something. You know what I mean? Like, we are formulaic. We absolutely tell the same tale every single time we play. And it's just ridiculous how, I mean, like, it just doesn't change. We always concede early and score late. And more often than not, we have been drawing in this undefeated streak, but it's still an undefeated streak nonetheless. The club record is what, 8 or something like that?
Yeah, because 7 is. Yeah, so 7 is the current record, and we just tied it in the unbeaten streak tonight. And I thought that was about to be out the door. Whew.
Yeah, it looked grim until stoppage time, until the kids came on. And but yeah, before that, I mean, Tyler Wolf, I mean, yeah, definitely he is on a scoring spree, so he's doing well. He's also on a scoring spree. Nick Firmino, who's scored 8 goals for Atlanta United 2 with 3 assists, and he scores another one here. And yeah, unmarked back post, Lennon with that stand-up ball, and beauty. We are the cardiac kids.
Seriously.
Don't know. We just do not know how to make it boring, and that's not in our cards. That's just not our MO. We don't do that.
It's an exciting team to watch because you never know what's going to happen. So you have to stick till the end. I imagine that despite what's going on the field, a lot of people don't leave the stadium early. I wouldn't.
Contrary. There are a lot of people that leave, but all those people that left, they missed out.
Yep.
That's why you don't leave.
I mean, I get it. They got to drive like all the way back to, like Marietta and like crazy places. So.
Right. I saw a lot of people with kids, even though, yes, see this right now. It's bad. I don't know. Run away from them right now because there's so many kids that they're loud.
Can't really hear you right now. Try and talk a little louder.
Yep. See, right? Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. It's RIP here. Gonna run away.
You are catastrophically breaking up. Can't really hear you.
Oh dear. Okay. Yeah, this is what I expected. Anyway, yeah, it's new headphones. The other one broke. Sorry, guys. Trying to make do. Is this better?
Yeah, you haven't broken up in a minute. Yeah, that's good.
Okay. Well, that's good. That's good. Well, anyway, so yeah, I mean, we get a nice view of the stadium now, so that's.
Oh, you sound much better now. Okay.
Oh, good. Excellent. So yeah, depending on how many minutes you guys missed of what I was saying, but anyway,
just 1 minute.
Okay. Well, I mean, give us your assessment, Michael. How you saw this match?
Yeah, so I thought specifically in the first half we played very well. Outside of the 1 minute goal, which was I'm not even quite sure what that was. If I had to break it down, I guess it's like both goals to me didn't seem indicative of like our system failing or NYCFC's system prevailing over ours. It just seemed like bad luck. Even the first goal, I mean, you got to step to the guy a little bit earlier than that. Gutman is known to be at fault for this type of thing. He constantly lets balls across the face of goal. He constantly lets shot on goal from that position. I mean, and so I mean, I guess people target it and they look for that and they try and do that. But I mean, like there's only so much you can do. He put his body in front of it. He tried to be as big as he can. He's not very big. He put his hands behind them to make sure he didn't get a handball. Guzan tried to cover the near post, which is what he should be doing, and the guy went long with it, and he slotted home a really perfect shot that he had to hit. And I mean, outside of other people like crowding the box, which is a little early to do and hurried, and not everyone is kind of up to the game speed that Pereira, whatever that guy's name was, who scored the goal, he was clearly up to that speed already. So that was a bit of us being caught a little unaware, a little slow out the gate. So again, I don't think it's indicative of anything that like is like, oh man, Atlanta United, we keep doing the same mistakes. That was, I don't think, I think it's a kind of a new mistake, so of sorts. So
let's pause there on that goal because I think it is something that we let them into some of the very dangerous zone in terms of anything often, I feel like. And so there is a little bit of this where I think once he had the ball, Pereira, outside of the box, he looked absolutely dangerous and hungry to score. And I was crapping my pants already when he was right there. And then he scores, and then I'm like, it's just I think it is something indicative of where Gutman, I think, does not, like you're saying, recognize the danger early. And that's where it is. It's like just too many times we just kind of let him waltz into the zones that are really great to score from. And Guzan, could he have done better? Maybe,
yeah.
It is, but I think it is still. It's just like,
I mean, you have to cover the near post. You have to.
Exactly.
And it forces him to have to hit a perfect shot that almost nutmegs Gutman to go in on the far post. So, I mean, like again, I don't like. What are you going to tell Gutman to do next time? Like, close him down sooner? Well, yeah, of course. You don't think he thought that? I mean, of course he thought, I need to do something, and he's going to try and do something. But clearly he felt he couldn't. Like, he's not an idiot. He would have thought, I either close him down, or he probably thought if I try and take the bait and close him down, he's going to twinkle toes around me, or he's going to get a pass off that opens things up. So he thought he was doing the right move by just holding his ground and trying to block a shot or something. So, like, I mean, I don't really know if it's, again, like, if it's a system issue, or if it's just like like as Pineda says sometimes, it's an individual error in that moment.
It's a switching off and not being switched on from the minute.
Yeah, and fair play to New York City for pushing the envelope from the very beginning and catching us off guard, because we clearly weren't in the game state yet. So.
Yeah, and that's, to your point, exactly what it might be, is that they are targeting that side because they know there are some deficiencies that can be attacked. And that's what it is. I mean, it's like, but, go on. Your assessment.
Yeah, so that was just that part. But the rest of it, like I thought, the first half, they did well. I was impressed with how the midfield worked. I mean, we still saw some issues with the defense trying to link up with the midfield, which is, now that is a systemic thing that has always plagued us. However, once it got to the midfield, when you had Firmino and you had Ibarra in the midfield, they were able to actually do some pretty good link-up play with the offense. That was very encouraging, because you saw people running onto the ball from long distances like Caleb Wiley, and you had, I mean, that link up between like Wiley and Sajic, and who else was it? And I forget. Anyway, there was that was like a triangle of players that were doing things there that were, well, it was exceptional. Just like that through ball, Wiley runs on it from Sajic or whatever, and it was like multiple times this chemistry was working well. I was very happy to see that because we didn't see a lot of that. We don't see a lot of that when Wiley doesn't start, and when we've been thinking, is Wiley going to continue to do that even if he starts versus if he's brought on as a super sub? Because everyone thinks, oh, he's a super sub, of course he's going to run past people, open up space because everyone's tired and he can run, right? That's why he comes on. However, now he's start, we can see he can do that when everyone's still fresh legs, still open up the game, and still score early or attempt to have us be put in a position where we can score early. So I thought that was very instrumental, opening up the game and causing a lot of fits. That matchup between like Wiley and Gray in the back was wonderful to watch. Gray was out of his depth, and we were exploiting that continuously. Second half, once New York City also scored their second goal, it definitely seemed like we switched off. There was a drop in intensity quite clearly. I saw us losing more duels, losing more like 50-50s, and I started to see frustration and stuff settling in again. And I'm like, oh my goodness, the same old song and dance. So I was expecting this to kind of putter out, but I also kept in mind, like you said, we're the cardiac kids, and we always seem to have something. In the last 15 minutes, they make this crazy push where it's like everything's on the line, and they pull a rabbit out of the hat. In this case, Firmino acted as the magician. So I was really happy to see him get, that's his first goal in his first career start, right? So that was pretty cool.
Because they're minutes. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And so either way, that's got to be amazing for him, amazing for us. Like I said, we didn't win at home, which of course you always want to do. But in this case, when we don't have our DPs and Tylos Magno's on the field for the other team, that's in my book a win.
Yeah, and especially when Miguel Berry has like 5 touches. So it's really just like we're playing with 10 men. I mean, he's barely doing much, but he plays the whole 90. Somehow we pull out this result. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to rag him too hard, but it's dire when he starts. It's just, I don't know what he offers. Like, he offers a bit of energy to press, but otherwise ineffective. Like, just really not touching the ball, really not doing much. I counted one instance where he beat his man and he crossed the ball, but it was right.
Yeah.
The most notable thing he did. But I think someone that came on that actually was dictating things and kind of playing the 10 position was Mitchell Chol. The first minute he came on, he made a marauding run, near post, took a shot, almost leveled it. But yeah, I mean, it's like to your point, Caleb Wiley, yeah, he was an outlet all night long. Lennon as
and
well.
And Wolf was doing good on the right as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we kind of yeah, it's odd. We're going away from the modern game and playing with kind of traditional wingers.
Yeah, young, energetic, traditional wingers.
Right, and so because they, it is one of those things. Pineda could invert them, but I think he realizes maybe both of them don't have quite the shot that the what's needed per se. But yeah,
and Pineda was saying we need to change it up by just being able to feed Yakimagas more efficiently, which traditional wingers seem to be able to do. So
yeah, definitely there is that. Ibarra I think had a really strong match.
Yeah, I was afraid he was going to get. I was afraid he was going to get his yellow. I was ready for it. I was so ready for it. I'm like, no, we're gonna, but we're gonna have him for the Red Bull match. So that'll be interesting because that's a physical match, and we need to boss them. So he's there for that, and I'm happy.
Yeah, and I think that will be interesting because it's yeah, obviously Sosa I think would be the person that's better on the ball, but maybe we don't keep it. Maybe we don't keep the ball against New York Rebels.
Are you
because,
suggesting Pineda adjust tactics? Are you suggesting this?
I know, right? So, yeah, that's bananas. That's bananas talk. But also, okay, someone who had a fantastic match, Wanu Porata.
Yeah.
Oh,
That
the
slide tackle,
late-
that won the throw in too. Like, that's class.
Yeah, that is ridiculous what he did. I mean, he turned on the Jets. Who knew he had that pace on it? I don't think anybody expected him to not only catch up to him, but win the ball off of the player and win the throw-in. I mean, stop the counter completely. Parata, wow.
I think I heard like Jason Longshore say something along the lines of the New York City player being quote unquote apoplectic about how it was off of him and not Wando Parata.
Yeah, and that's the thing. The NYCFC player was the favorite for that ball.
Yeah.
Yeah. Parata deserves the plaudits. It's not a clean sheet today, but I don't know if he was really at fault tonight. And I mean, he led that back line as well. You could see him being very vocal, dragging the line forward when necessary, when Guzan was ordering them to. It's a young Noah Cobb who I was, I don't know, like we didn't really have another center back that was, somebody that's ready on the bench. So, Cobb got that cheap yellow, and I was sweating.
Yeah.
I was like, who's going to come on and play center back if we have to replace him?
Gutman can play anything. Put him in anything. Everyone was talking about him playing striker earlier today.
This is true. I mean, and Gutman, despite that, that first minute goal, he just takes it upon himself, and he was making run after run, beating his man on the dribble, multiple men in traffic, constantly when we really needed to move up the pitch.
He was asking the defense questions so many times, like, "Oh yeah, you're gonna stop me? You're gonna trip me? You're gonna trip me in the box? Come on, do it!" I was like, "Yes, pressure them."
Yeah, and that's exactly what I mean. It's one of those like lead by example guys.
Mm-hmm.
I mean
we like to use the term energy leaders.
Yeah, and not energy vampires. He's an energy leader for sure.
Yeah, like Colin Robinson.
Yeah, exactly. But that's a deep cut there for anybody that watches.
Next new season coming out soon too.
Man, I've only seen that first season, but it's so good, so good.
Definitely see it.
The mockumentary movie from
Taika
Waititi.
Yep. And Jermaine, it's so good. If no one knows what we're talking about, it's What We Do in the Shadows. It's a really good show. Watch it. Anyway, back to the game.
Documentary about vampires. Anyway, yes. Back to this game. So, yes. Gonzalo Pineda, I mean, starting 4 homegrowns. We haven't even talked about that yet. I mean, no DPs, 4 homegrowns, and I mean, we look like a team that was playing like a team. I tweeted this. We were not playing hero ball. We were actually passing and moving. What?
Yeah, combination play. It was amazing to see.
Yeah, it's something that I think we've been calling for, but I think it's the personnel that
Well, you know what it was. You know what I think it was. A lot of that had to do with it was you saw a lot of the young guys making runs off the ball, and so it gave outlets for people who had them. So it's like and it was funny. I made a joke in the chat too, where kind of like as to point to the opposite of this. When Josetu came on, I feel like he made more back passes in the first 10 minutes than our entire team did the whole prior 80 minutes or whatever it was when he came on. And I'm like, this is how you kill offenses. Like when he gets the ball and he just goes like, where do I need to? I'm going to take 2 hours to surveil where everyone is. Okay, no one's available. I'm going to pass back. like every freaking time. But the rest of them though, they would like little tiki taka. They were quick running. Give me the ball, you go. I'll get it back. You go, like give and take. It was great, and we just don't see that. So it was really great to see that from the kids. I mean, we didn't see this in Columbus either when a lot of the kids were on there as well. So I was not expecting it, to say the least.
Right. It's refreshing. I think that's the word. And it's definitely when Fortune was on, I think you see energy from him. He followed up that almost goal. Man, there were some really good set pieces in defense and attack this match. Some routines on an NYCFC corner. We put 2 men forward in Wiley and Wolf on opposite sides of the pitch, on the left wing and the right wing, and they had to have 2 less players, and so that was, I think, really brilliant because it led to that it led to that counter that was the outlet ball for Wiley to run onto. He crosses it, and it's a beautiful ball, and Wolf, I don't know how he missed it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's that would have been a brilliant counterattack.
Yeah.
And then the follow-up with Fortune, unfortunately, it's parried out for a corner, but man, that's an almost goal that has, I think, a lot of fans and the players probably talking to themselves, where it's just, man, how?
Yeah, it like hit off his boot and it went backwards somehow. I was like, how kind of physics did he invent for that to happen? But I want to talk about that for a second, because it's like, all right, so if we don't let a free goal in for no dang reason in the beginning of the game, and Tyler Wolf puts in a goal that 99.99% of strikers put in, you're looking at a 3-1 game where we're easily winning this game. Like, it's bizarre how the game changes if, like, we just, that first goal should never happen. So, like, and then the goal Tyler was about to score that he didn't should have happened. I don't know. It's like, what kind of universe are we living in when those things get taken away, but it's given, like, Firmino has to score like an amazing header to equalize it. It's like, all right. I mean, okay. Like, Tyler has to shoot it past it has to, like, phase through the goalie's body to get into the net. But, we let in a soft goal in the very beginning, and Tyler misses a literal sitter. So it's like, okay.
Yeah. Literally, his butt is in the goal, and the ball is not. Man.
Yeah, I made the joke in the chat earlier where it's like, Atlanta United just likes to play on hard mode. Like, okay, we're going to give you a goal in the very beginning because we know we have to, we're going to score a bunch. And then Tyler's like, you know what, this is a little too easy. I'm just going to let that one go.
Yeah, no, it's a little bit of that, right? He scored from more than 5 yards out this match for the first time this season. And then misses the literal sitter. I mean, I don't think we can rag on him too hard because, I mean, he had a really good match. I mean, he was definitely tracking back well. He was giving good energy, work rate from attack and defense. So I think, it's I think you'll forgive missing a sitter when he gets that equalizer early. So, but
I forgive it if we didn't let in a goal in the first minute. But
I know, right? But yeah, I mean, and so it's a match where there's a lot of, I think, really decent individual performances, especially without 3 DPs. I think NYCFC coming in, they were pretty epically bad on the road, and I think winless apparently away this season, but and still winless. But they gave us a scare, and it's
and when you can sub in Tiles Magno and late in the game, I was like, oh no,
yeah, it's and we have pretty much I mean we had to sub in some hot Atlanta United 2 players, but I mean given the swing of that I think you take Tyler Magnus probably 9 times out of 10.
Yeah.
Probably. But,
Yeah.
it worked out, and we have a transfer window coming up that might be able to help kind of restore some of the coffers, because Luis Araújo caught a flight before the match, and he posted on his IG. He and his wife kind of like celebrating on the plane a little bit. I find it odd that he traveled today. It was like he could have gone like Monday, Tuesday, tomorrow. I mean,
you really think he's gonna want to watch like the twos essentially play in MLS? I don't know.
Right. Either way, I mean, it could have been earlier. It's just odd. It's an odd happenstance that he happened to travel.
Well, he's been odd for us like the entire time he's been here, so it is what it is.
It's true. Yeah, it's fair.
he left the same way he came.
Yes, and Thiago Almada, he had to miss out completely. So that's something that's would that have helped us win the points? Maybe, but so that's a bummer. Yorgos Giacomakis, of course, still on international duty. I mean, we went in this game with probably not highest hopes, I would say. I would say, looking at that lineup, the best case was a draw, and I think that's pretty much how it played out a little bit. But in the run of play, we actually were the better team.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that's that's football for you.
And the stats show it too. We had more possession, we had more everything. So
exactly.
All right, so I am happy to announce we got Niall joining us. How you doing?
Niall, my boy.
Coming on in. Well, coming in hot, straight from the stadium.
What's up?
How's it going? What are your thoughts on this match?
Ooh, what a game. I mean, the start was pretty bad. I mean, the way that we just conceded within, I don't know, I kind of lost track, but like just a couple of seconds.
Like 20 seconds, maybe.
20 seconds or so. It was to be fair to, I think it was Pereira that scored the goal. I think it was a decent goal, but still you can't really concede that early in the match. But
you take like psychic damage about it too. It's not just physical damage.
Yeah, you take psychic damage, but I was honestly surprised by how well the team responded after that. The ability to because after that goal, we were kind of we didn't drop our heads or anything, especially with a young team that didn't have any DPs whatsoever on the field. So the ability to just kind of to just not drop our heads and be able to just push forward, and then Wolf got that good goal, well played, and then you go down again after I think it was a mistake from Johnny, which sucks, because I thought that he had a decent match, I thought, apart from the mistake. And then once again, like, you bring on Firmino, who's done well with Atlanta United too, and then he just comes off the bench and that's a storybook ending, really. He gets his like debut goal, and so I mean, it was always going to be tough. I think people were kind of saying, oh, NYCFC have struggled, but I mean, regardless of whether they've struggled or not, they're still clearly talent on that team. They still have a very talented squad. Like Pereira, for example, I think this is like the second time he's caused Atlanta trouble.
Yeah.
Because I remember the last game that he scored, right at towards the end of the match or something like that. Or no, not towards the end, but like right after GG scored, I think he scored this like pretty crazy goal. So they have talent. So, but the ability to just sort of be able to get a point with no DPs. I mean, I think like the kids, for example, really showed out tonight. They showed some personality, and I think Pineda has some tough decisions to make for the next match, especially like Wolf, for example. He scores a goal and he's getting in the right positions and everything. He's doing everything that you're asking for him, probably more than that. But yeah, you take the point. We're still in 5th place. So
We're
not
still
too-
in 5th. We were in 6th coming into this.
Yeah, we were in 6th, but I think Orlando at one point was winning, was winning, but then against Philadelphia. But I think Philadelphia, like, they were able to salvage a draw at the last minute. So I mean, you take the
Yeah, we made ourselves into 5th. Look at that.
yeah, it's MLS. But like, so you take the point, and you know, you see what happens on Sunday, or no, not Sunday, Saturday.
Saturday, yep.
Against the New York Red Bulls, who I think they're also struggling, but they were able to, kind of like us, they were able to get a tie at the end. So, but yeah,
I'll just say one thing is that you know, I thought Johnny Fortune had a great game for everything, and that mistake that happened for him, like we were talking in the chat. Yeah, like, you know, young players will make mistakes like that, but I don't think it's like really that much on him, because that was a deflection that awkwardly got to him. He wasn't expecting that ball at all. So like when that hit his foot and then bounced away, like he had no, like, what in my mind I feel like he didn't have really the ability to control a deflection coming at him randomly. So he did what he could, and it just ended up in a bad situation, which was kind of like how, you know, like I was saying in a couple of games, and the announcers were talking about this on the commentators on Apple TV, like Atlanta just keeps getting like hobbled by these random deflection / 50-50 balls where the ball just happens to land on one of the most dangerous players on the other team's foot in a really bad position where neither system produced this result. It's not like the one team's like, all right, we're going to plan for this, and here's how it's going to happen, and we're going to calculate and get it. And so, you know, it's just like, crap, it happened again. Like, I don't know. Like, that's when AJ's like, well, what's the diagnosis here? I'm like, I don't really know. It just kind of sucks. You know, sometimes it happens.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think so the goals today that we conceded, I think, were a bit, I mean, apart from the first goal, I think, which was a good goal.
The shot had to be on, yeah.
The second goal, for example, I think that was a bit of an unlucky goal. I think that we were the better team on the night.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, and that's kind of what makes it frustrating not to get the 3 points here. But at the same time, I mean, you have to take into perspective the game context. You're without 3 of your DPs. You're missing some players, but you have these young players that have been, you know, showing that, hey, like, I can step up whenever some other players are out and do the job. And that's what Wolf, and I think also Cobb, for example, had a decent game too.
He did.
So all of those young players that started today, I think they kind of showed that, hey, like, I can step in when needed. So, and then it's
about time, because they haven't done that in the past for us in the first team. Yeah. So especially with Noah Cobb in one of the other games, like, it's been rough. So I'm just so glad to see some solidification and some confidence coming from the young guys for once, because usually it's the other team's young guys who always show out against us. Yeah. And we are just left like bereft, like what just happened? And then when we put our guys out, they're just like, I don't know, this isn't really what I trained for, and then I get kind of blown out. So luckily now we are seeing a lot more improvement. I don't know if this is because of like ATL2 went to MLS Next now, and there's just different stakes or what have you. You know, the guys are just being under more pressure or whatever, but they're doing better. So.
Steve Cook, yeah, you know, the Atlanta 2 coach, who's producing some better results and I think better performances and play from the Atlanta 2 players. So yeah, it definitely could be that. And it is. You know, I think Michael, you always are lamenting about like New York Red Bulls. They'll bring on a young guy and he'll score like immediately. And
Caden Clark.
Exactly what happened tonight? Oh. Exactly. Caden Clark, or who's their striker right now? New York Red Bulls. Anyway, he did that against us, like I think earlier this season. But either way, it is that like Noah Cobb saved Raguzan's ass today.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
He came out.
What was happening?
And it's
what
like, dude,
happened?
Make a decision. Yeah, exactly.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Playing the ball towards the player, I mean, obviously this is like hindsight, so this is like all like okay, but it is one of those things where either run out, like kick the ball, do like make a decision, kick the ball or body the ball and kick it out to the right. But he kicked it to the player, and he almost had an open goal. But Noah Cobb, last minute tackle, and was able to clear it. So, you know how you were saying, yeah, it's like, yeah, the luck and whatnot, the first goal, if Wolf scored his sitter. I mean, it could have been another way around.
So you're saying in another world, this is a 3-2 game where I was thinking it's more 3-1. I think I agree with you because that honestly could have easily been a goal. So I would say maybe in another world, this is a 3-2 result.
Yeah.
Yeah. It could have been 3-3. I mean, it's just how we roll. We have only won 2 games in our last 11. So yes, game state, DP state of the Union right now, but still, like, it's not great. We did really well tonight in spite of what the circumstances.
All right, let me get into this chat a little bit because we got some chatters coming in hot.
Sure. And before that, make sure you retweet the stream, like, share, comment, subscribe, do all the goodness.
Yeah, please tag us in your retweets, and we will retweet you too. Please, you scratch our back, we'll scratch yours. So let's see. We got. Sorry if I butcher your name. Crow Loco CPT. He has been chatting quite a bit, and he says, yeah, it's a win for us. I'm from LA, but moved into Atlanta in 2016. I follow them more than the LA team. Well, that's because we're better than the LA team.
So, I was gonna say, like, CPT. I was like, Captain? No, it's probably Compton, huh?
Yeah, probably. Let's see. Like the commute is not an issue. I was talking about how some people leave early sometimes. He says the commute is not an issue, bro. If you love Atlanta, you stick it to the end. That's right, and that's why I didn't even go tonight. Actually, that's right.
Avoid the commute altogether. That's how you game the system.
Mike, you're the man, bro. Love your podcast. It's not just my podcast. It's all of ours. Mike, that's the second time a team scores 2 in a game on us. Yeah. Ask about the
time.
I feel like
is that like a 15th time?
Yeah, I don't know how far back in history we're talking here. The first half was great. We need Wiley in all games. Yeah, I mean, he's making a compelling argument. So, Gray didn't know what was up. Yeah, I mean, the guy had his shoelaces tied by Wiley all night. Crollo has a lot of messages. We got a good squad this year. I mean, it's coming along. I mean, we can be dangerous later in the second half of the season, I think.
I think it also depends on who we bring in the summer trial too.
You got to assume they're going to be great, right? Yeah. So
you got to assume that, midfield, for example. I think that's a hole that needs to be filled. Maybe a number 10 for replacement, just in case Almada leaves. But
I'm starting to think he's not leaving until the winter.
Yeah, I do too. I think a winger
forwards
as well in replace of Araujo. I mean, because as great as Tyler Wolff has been, you're gonna need you can't really expect him to be like a world beater. Like, you have to have a player that has more experience and more technique than him.
Let's pause there, though. You bring up a very, very interesting argument because Tyler Wolff, obviously with his lineage, with the Wolff family in Austin as well, his brother, his dad at Austin FC. I mean, what kind of message does it send when we bring in a DP player that may or may not take minutes away from him, and he's so far earning his minutes with goals? Now, can he continue this scoring streak? Probably unlikely, but it is one of those kind of it's a thought experiment of, does it affect what Tyler Wolff, how he might take that. Even though, I think ultimately he's a young kid. He might realize, okay, I had this chance here. If I continue to prove myself, maybe they don't have to bring it.
It's going to be the same. It's going to be the exact same scenario that Wiley and Etienne have. They're going to bring in a high TAM level player for a winger, in my opinion, and they're going to battle it out. Wolff versus this guy. Wiley versus Etienne. Wiley is ending up performing better, so he gets called up. So I think that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, the more competition you have on the team, it's the better. I mean, we've seen that kind of a bit with Atlanta United already. The midfield, I think, is an example of that. You have like Sadic, Rossetto, Ibarra, all really pushing each other. And then also, like you said, like the wingers as well, Derek, Wiley, and whoever else comes in. So yeah, I mean, I think regardless if Wolff is a starter or not, I think going forward, I think he could be a really key player to this team's success. I mean, Pineda's clearly rates him based on like what he's said in press conferences about him, and I think if he keeps performing like this, there's no reason to why he shouldn't be a important player for this team, because he just has something a bit different.
Well, you know what?
He's got that scoring prowess that in the box, except for the sitter. But,
yeah. I'll say one last thing about Tyler. I mean, hey Tyler, here, if you're listening, here, come closer. So if you want to start in MLS,
come closer for that Riz.
You can go to another team and start there if you think that you're worth it and you can do it. I'm perfectly happy with seeing your career move on to the next stage and you become a threat in MLS or somewhere else. That's perfectly fine. So if that's got you, in a problem, then you can always go somewhere else, and then you can show out there, and we can be like, oh man, he used to be great for us, and now he's on another team. So kind of like how I feel like with like John Gallagher a little bit, where I was watching him crush it on Austin.
John Gallagher, man.
So
yeah, he's playing right wing back, and it's like, oh man, he's scoring goals from there. But I mean, yeah, defensively and I think passing wise, his stats don't look the best.
Yeah,
but
I mean, I personally don't think he's ready, but I'm just saying if he wants to, listen, that was a little heart to heart for me and Tyler there, So
yeah, indeed. We'll clip that. Somebody will clip that, and we'll make sure Tyler will see that.
Right, we'll tweet at Tyler.
Okay, we will not do that, but but anyway, yeah. But I love that moment, man. I didn't see a iota of it, but because in Discord we can't see you, but I felt it.
I'm glad you felt it. All right, let me read a couple of the more comments. So we have Lightning0491 saying, it's official, Wolff has to keep starting. Glue Etienne to the bench. Man, I don't know if I want to use glue, but like, I mean, he's making an argument. I'll say it's a very cogent argument.
Yeah, I mean, Etienne, he's been below expectation, clearly. I mean, recently he's slowly, I think, gotten a bit better, but at this point, if you have Wiley and Wolff scoring goals, then you're obviously going to take them ahead of Etienne, so he's in a bit of a tough position here, because you have two teenagers outperforming you on a pretty high level,
more than halfway into the season. So, yeah, more than halfway into the season, and I think he's on 0 goals, maybe an assist.
Yeah, maybe. No, he won't.
It's not great, Like that's a pretty terrible return when he got 9 and 6 last year. So,
all right, let me read a little more of these. Crollo, I don't know what's going to happen on September 18th.
We're going way too far.
I looked. Yeah. I don't think Atlanta's playing that day, so I don't have an opinion on it. Or it might be
3 months from now. Like, what are we talking about?
I don't know. Maybe we'll find out. Lightning says, I feel like Etienne has the talent, but I've seen a lot of plays where he gets to where the ball gets to him and the play just dies at his feet. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, we've said that before. That's definitely a returning kind of theme with that. And it really has to be like once in a while he gets another chance to redeem himself, and if he can progress the play and create chances, assists, goals, things like that, then he'll start making another argument, and then we can have this conversation again about whether or not he can come back into the starting 11. But at the minute, like to solidify a spot, because I feel like you have to be like, let's say, at this point, like, 60-40 Wolf versus Etienne at this point, because you have to at least give Etienne a chance to claw his way back, right?
I don't even think it's against Wolf. It's against.
Oh, sorry,
Wiley.
sorry. Yeah, I meant Wiley.
But,
it's two W. It's very confusing.
It's true. But I think it's also this. This is the interesting thing about tonight is that, okay, so the three players that are the attacking midfielders tonight are tonight versus what we usually play out and trot out, which is Derek Etienne, Thiago Almada, Luis Araujo. The ball all die with them. They are not as direct as what was happening tonight. And the players tonight kept it simple, which is exactly what we needed, exactly what we need to do. And that's why it looked so much better. Now, there were some kind of, I guess, moments.
Do you think Pineda wrote on the chalkboard KISS?
Yeah, who knows? I don't know. I doubt it. But,
we're gonna have to ask. We're gonna have to ask our reporters that we have in the Discord. That's right. We have official Land United reporters in our Discord. So if you want to talk with them, and if you don't want to use Twitter, we have access to them, and you can go say hi. I'm giving them more work. I'm giving them more work right now, and they'll be happy to have it.
Right, and I think that's the thing. It's like as we're talking about scratch backs and all that. I think we can give ideas that they can ask, so that helps. But,
yeah, I mean, if you guys have questions, let us hear them, and we can put them out in the universe, and then maybe a Tyler Pilgrim, maybe a Sidney Hunt, maybe a Tommy, maybe a Henry. Maybe these types can go over there and be like, hey. They won't say, oh, Atlanta United Fan TV said this, but they will maybe ask that question.
Exactly. So, I mean, on that hero ball that I was talking about earlier, and the lack of in this match, I mean, I think that's what just led to just more entertaining kind of match, because, when we dribbled, the guys that were dribbling really were not the attacking midfielders. I mean, Machop Chol, when he came on, yes, he was very direct. I mean, his first play, pretty much, with the shot that was just wide. But also, Andrew Gutman, I mean, so direct. At least 3 different instances where he just ran at the defense and they couldn't do anything about it. Had to foul him. And other than that, I mean, it's just like we kept it simple. We kept it buzzing along, crisp passes, and moving. And yes, maybe not every single ball that was forward was the cleanest ball, or there was some, like Ibarra. He tried some passes that were like, you could see the vision, but he just didn't put enough of the bend on it, or enough weight on it. But yeah, I mean, it was thoroughly better to watch tonight than a lot of the just maddening watching the ball die at the feet, where they eventually pass it into the legs of the defense because nobody else was moving, because everybody else was ball watching.
And I'm not going to say correlation is causation, but Etienne and Araujo are not on the starting 11. So
yeah, exactly. So it's like, well, you got runners, you got people that are keeping it simple. I mean, hey, like, it's something that we should probably do more. Anyway.
Yeah. Let me hit up a couple more of these so we can finish it out, and then Niall, we can get your summation. The local pundit says, to be fair, ATL battled back. Yeah, we did. I mean,
yeah,
we were pushing the envelope the entire time, and every goal it's stupid to say the first goal was against the run of play, but I feel like it was, just because the rest of it was against the run of play. So it's like retroactively against the run of play.
Yeah, so yeah, technically it is. But yeah, also shout out to Local Pundit. I did an episode with them. They're a brand new podcast, and they started out in LA. So yeah, they're going kind of pretty much talk with a bunch of people that are locals to their cities, and that's including us. So check them out on YouTube, Instagram, and give them a watch.
Guess that makes us local pundits.
Dude,
all right, well, we will tweet that out. We'll give them a little, little love on Twitter. Stronk, always in the chat. Love to have you, man. Saying, hey guys, I'm here. I don't have anything to comment on right now. That's because we did everything perfectly. That's why.
Oh.
What?
and I will have him be on record saying we played this game perfectly, and there are nothing that needs to be changed. Nothing could have been done better, because that's the only reason why he'd have no comment. So that's what I would say.
Yeah, somebody has kidnapped Strong.
Yeah, yeah, he's usually one of the more opinionated types.
Who is this imposter? Why is it your sister?
Yeah, right.
Get her off of your account.
Elliot Bevan says Atlanta should go for a CMDP. I agree. I think a CDM type of one, like maybe like we've talked about so many times in the family of Darlington Nabby is the kind of DP I need to have.
Yeah, I think
that's interesting. Go ahead. Yeah.
That goes forward. That has the ability to. It's offensive minded. Has the vision. I think defensive midfielder. I think I'm fine with having Ibarra or whoever there. But I think you need like an 8 or a more like somebody that can play as an 8 or a 10 or both maybe like somebody that
we're definitely gonna have that. I feel like that's definitely gonna happen. So I think the less likely is like the debates about like wingers or elsewhere where you expend the DP, and then the Largaway is always talking about how he wants to spend DP money on the spine. And if you rule out CBs, which we probably can, then it's like, where else are you putting that DP? And if it's like a given we have a DP at striker, we have a given that we have a DP at a 10, then where else is it going? My argument is probably for like a defensive lying midfielder, but it could be somewhere else, center or something like that. So, I mean, the argument is there. It could be interesting. The way I envision my soccer theory is like you get the ball from defense to defensive midfield to like attacking midfield / offense, and then that to offense. And if you have like a key like Darlington Nabby like player in every one of those positions, that ball's getting through there. It's just going. It's on a conveyor belt at that point. Whereas if you have a broken link in that chain somewhere along the way, you have what we've been looking at for the last couple years of Atlanta United, which is interceptions, red passes, backwards passes, lateral, not knowing what to do with it, slow, plodding attack. So that's the way I see it. That's the way I'm hoping.
Yeah, and it's a great point. I think, maybe a deep line playmaker, that would be interesting. I think, more in the Darlington Nagby mold, or even, even more so. I think that what you're saying, Niall, like an 8-10 hybrid.
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah, because Amar Sadic played that role tonight. It was pretty much like dual 8s, pretty much. And. It was okay at times. I think he was able to turn on a dime decently, but I think I think there's an upgrade clearly that we'd have, and Fortune and Sadic were able to, I think, hold down the fort well enough and pass and move well enough, but I think there's somebody that. We just need more goals from our central midfielders, because it's non-existent pretty much at the moment. And I think our fullbacks are outscoring them, our center backs are outscoring them. Luis Araujo was not outscoring them, but
he should be.
But Tyler Wolf definitely is. Yeah. So anyway. It's just one of those like you just cannot have a black hole from every one of your central midfielders. Like that's just not conducive to a top side. I mean that's I think pretty telltale why we're in 5th or 6th.
Yeah, I mean the only reason we're in 5th or 6th is because we have Almada and Gigi essentially too. So, Yeah,
it is true, and Miles Robinson too.
Yeah, but I mean, you wouldn't know it. You wouldn't know it. We could have literally the 2s in the back line every game because we're the most conceding team. I don't know if that's still the statistic, but we're the most up until recently. We're the most conceding team in the entire MLS. So
probably somewhere up there.
Yeah, we were. Definitely top or second.
Yeah.
But it's
so you wouldn't know we had like elite national team players on our back line.
That's what it is, man. It's like it's baffling. It's just like it doesn't make any sense on paper. We should be, at least middle of the pack. We're better.
Mm-hmm.
Not at all.
Yeah. Let me finish off one or two more of these. Lightning says, we don't need a DP on the wing. We need a 8 or 6 that connect the defense to offense that allow Almada to stay high. So that's pretty much what we were talking about. That actually hits both of what we were talking about, so that's a perfect comment. And that's your perfect comment of tonight. Elliot says, wish Conte came to Atlanta. Yeah, I mean, he's not gonna. But, like, that would be interesting. Do you have any comments on that?
He would demand way too high wages. I mean...
Exactly.
And he's what? He's 30. He's
132.
Yeah, and he's clearly interested in the bag, so
Yeah, you're not gonna get that.
Yeah, he's chasing the bag. That's fair.
Yeah, like he's such a humble guy, but I mean, he also came from nothing, and he's won pretty much everything. So that's Saudi money.
I mean,
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
Would I do it? Probably not. But
you can't pay me enough to live in Saudi Arabia. So, no offense to Saudi Arabians, but that country's just not for me.
Yeah.
Let's see. Local Pundit was telling me LAFC are up early against Seattle 1-0. Fortunately, I've not tuned into anything going on in the MLS right now, but that's interesting. I mean, that's kind of to be expected.
Yeah.
It's interesting for Western jockeying positioning in the standing, so we'll see how that goes. Local Pundit says, thank you, AJ, you're a great guy. So we both got accolades tonight. Now all we need is someone to say, Niall, you did a great job, aside from what I just did.
Now you're doing a great job, man.
Cesar Ibarra says, will Atlanta go get a big name in the transfer portal? Portal. So the question, I guess, I don't know. Yeah, I had to double check and look at that, but I mean, hey, why not?
That sounds awesome. I mean,
yeah, because I'm envisioning like Thanos walking through, but it's actually like messy. Right. Like that would be pretty cool.
Exactly. And he's got the gauntlets. Oh shit.
He's just carrying all of his trophies.
I want to see that exactly. Somebody has to make that.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, get on that internet.
Yeah, right. It's true.
So
we should, I'll reframe calling it the transfer portal from now on because that's way cooler than the transfer window.
Yeah, they're just like warping in, like in like Endgame.
Another dimension.
Yeah. So I'm gonna alter the question a little bit to say, like, would it make sense for Atlanta to target a big name, older, kind of like looking to retire / like superstar, versus doing what we've been doing, which is the young kind of South American phenom type thing?
I mean,
go ahead now. Do it.
I think definitely somewhere up there in terms of experience, but you don't. At the same time, though, I think that you want a person that can stay with the club for a while. Like you don't want somebody that is just going to come in for a year or two. For me, I would want somebody that.
Yeah, but what if that guy scores you an MLS Cup winner?
I mean, maybe, but at the same time, I think a lot of people have been complaining about the fact that we have players coming in and then just sort of leaving.
Yeah, revolving door.
Revolving door, and I think what this club needs is stability. So if you want to bring a guy in, like for me, I mean, sure, that model might work for other clubs like a Miami or something like that, but for me, I just don't think it works for a club like Atlanta. So I think that you would bring a guy maybe who's like 28, somewhere in late 20s, but not too old, who has experience. Just somebody that I think would, as we described, be like an 8 or a hybrid 8-10, that would be able to link from the defense to the offense. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. How about you, AJ?
So, speaking of Ballon d'Or winners, if we're going to go that route, and, Jude Bellingham just signed for Real Madrid. So, who might be surplus to requirements? Modric, who is also linked to us in the past.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Does it make too much sense?
I would die if that happened. I love Modric.
I would be bouncing off the walls if that happened. I mean, that would just change your entire.
So we're not all like Real Madrid fanboys here, but
No,
you are a psychopath if you don't like respect and also admire just the character and who Modric is. So,
yeah, listen, he's a former Tottenham player, but I respect that he is a world beater.
Yeah,
and if he came to MLS, why would we not? I mean, the guy's ageless, and if Messi can do it, we don't know yet. I think Modric can do it. And,
yeah, agree.
I mean, in that hybrid 8-10 thing that you're talking about, it just bleeds sense.
Garth Lagerwey.
I know, right?
Somebody needs to put Garth Lagerwey on the phone right now. And
call him up.
Call him up.
You got Darren Eale's phone number, right? Isn't there some kind of connection you can do?
Ooh.
That's true. I mean, he was there when he was playing for Spurs, so there's probably at least it's not a speed dial.
Recommendation refer.
All right, guys, get your comments and questions in because we're gonna wrap up that part of the show. Elliot says, "Yeah, it'd be really cool if he comes." Yeah, I don't know if he's gonna, but that would be really cool.
Ain't gonna happen, but you know what? Why not? Let's speak it into the system.
Oh, Strunk finally speaks up, and then he's going to be a Debbie Downer and say that he's voiced that he wants to stay at Real. So, okay, fine.
It's fair.
Oh, well.
Well, that's the thing. It's like you got Tony Cruz there too. You got Danny Ceballos, which I mean that's not taking any minutes from them, but yeah, it's like there is a world where they don't need everybody.
Yeah, I mean I think they have way too many midfielders now, especially with Vinga, Bellingham. Oh man, it's a lot.
It is a lot. They're aging. They're, we're talking about, bringing big name players and, on big money. I think we're a team that can afford it. We have a DP spot open now too. So,
yeah, I'd be head over heels. That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Again, it's just as dumb saying head over heels. It's got to be heels over head, right? Because you fall over. But whatever. True. Anyway, that's just a weird
Who came up with that shit?
Yeah, someone needs to double check their work.
Maybe it's a gymnast term. Who knows? I don't know. Either way,
Strong says Mbappe's up for sale.
No, he's not. But... no, he's not. Well, yeah, let's let Niall summarize his thoughts. And, yeah.
And then I'm going to ask you a really, really important question after this, Niall. So, go ahead.
Oh, okay. I think overall, you take the point. It's one of those matches where a draw does, for me anyway, kind of feel like a win in my books, especially considering the fact that you didn't have any DPs playing. It was mostly a bunch of homegrowns who had something to prove. Lots of promising signs. You know, a Johnny, Nick Firmino got his debut goal. A lot of the young players stepped up. They showed a ton of grit, especially after conceding once and then conceding again. Very easy to drop your heads in that case, but they didn't, and you were able to find something from this match, and you take the point, and then you move on, and then you play again on Saturday against Red Bulls with definitely a stronger lineup, and you see what you can get from there. So yeah, I mean, at this point, it would be really nice to get a win at Red Bulls, but we'll see. I mean, but yeah.
All right, Niall. I gotta ask you, now that you're part of the team, would you subject yourself to being added to the wheel of forfeit?
Yeah, sure.
All right, we'll put him in as one of the.
That's a good sport.
as one of the sacrificial lambs for tonight. So
yeah, and I owe the stream 2 things. I have been extremely busy. I have
scared. He's been scared.
I'm totally not scared, but totally owe you guys a bunch of things. So yes, it's gonna happen.
All right.
It's gonna be me again, I'm sure.
All right, so you guys talk for a little bit while I set this thing up.
Yeah, it's gonna be a trifecta. I mean, I owe you guys some red ass. Well, attempted red ass. I know it sounds really weird.
Well, when you put it like that.
I know, right? I owe you guys some red ass.
Yeah, I owe you guys some ass. So, okay.
Yeah. But and then a special skill. So, the special skill, I'm gonna leave it up to you guys. You let me know in the chat. It's gonna be between playing some music or making food. What do you want me to do?
Ooh, okay. Ooh. Who are you making the food for?
Ooh, I want
myself.
Ah, come on.
Maybe you guys.
That's cap. Come on. Okay. Come on, make a little like I don't know, bento box for us or something. Come on.
A bento? Oh man, now you're. I mean, I've made some bento boxes before actually, so don't test me. But
food sounds.
I actually thought about making. Yeah, I actually thought about making kimbap, which I don't know if you guys know what that is. But,
that sounds Korean. What is that?
You're correct. You are correct. It is.
I live on Beaufort Highway, so like right by it. So
I know. Exactly. I mean,
it's like
you could just
through osmosis. Yeah.
Ooh, oh man.
All right. Well.
So I could roll up some Korean sushi. Who knows?
Ooh, sushi.
I'm gonna make it.
All right. Now we might be the benefits of this, so we'll see. We'll find out.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Possible. Elliot,
I do not like where your head's at right now. He's saying that he should make something, so it's kind of like a catch-22. So like he wants you to make food as your special skill, but make it so spicy that it hurts us.
No.
Yes. There you go, Elliot. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh.
So I am going to I'm just going to real quickly ban Elliot Beaven from the chat. I'm just kidding.
Unbanned, Elliot. You're unbanned.
All right. I also have to answer. Cesar Ibarra asks is Bocanera going to Rangers? We got to put that to bed. He is not, unfortunately. I mean, honestly, that would be cool in his career. Good for him. But he's not going there. He's staying here for now. But you know what? It's indicative of him looking for jobs, meaning Lageray probably gave him the letter saying, "Hey, man, we're going to go in a different direction." So
it could be, man. Yeah, it could be where he maybe it's not a letter, but it's like, "Hey, you know what? It'd be cool. It'd be okay if you started looking for other jobs."
He's like, "It might behoove you to reach out to update your LinkedIn and resume."
Right, exactly. Like, have you updated your resume lately?
No reason, just checking.
I never have. What are you talking about? Like, I got this job because of nepotism. What do you think?
Seriously. Yeah. All right, so here is the wheel for the name selection. Hopefully it's not me tonight.
Hopefully it's not.
Here we go. Now, Niall, it should be you, honestly, but Oh, it's Niall!
Debutante.
It is Niall.
Debutante.
Wait, it's me?
Yeah, it's Niall. It was almost me, but it landed on you.
Wow.
Wait, so what do I have to do?
So
I don't know. We're gonna find out. Stay tuned.
We'll find out. We haven't found out yet. But man, it's a night of debutante things.
I'm not gonna call this goal scoring.
Yeah. What it is. Man, wow.
All right, so Niall, here are your possible fates. You have one to do a film yourself doing a soccer skills challenge. You figure that out, whatever you feel like doing. You can do a special talent, which is an incredibly vague term for whatever you think would be interesting and funny to put on the internet. Red ass game is what AJ was talking about earlier. Where AJ, you want to explain that one because you're the expert?
Yeah, sure. So basically, whoever it is takes a crack at you from the penalty spots while you have to bend over and possibly take it on the cushiony part.
On the cheeks.
Oh.
On the cheeks.
So
they get one shot, but if they're accurate,
one opportunity.
Yeah, exactly. Eminem.
So
8 Mile.
So we did do this once with AJ, and we freaking missed. I was off by like a centimeter. It grazed him. I'll always. That's my. Everyone talks about their big games they didn't show up for. That was mine.
That was your Aruju.
That was my Aruju. Yeah. So now we have then we have the spicy challenge, which is a tablespoon of my delicious ghost pepper sauce.
Oh, no, I'm withdrawing from that.
And then the last one is dressing up for the next time you come onto the stream. So you come in some kind of fun, silly costume or whatever. So one of the times I did, I just put like a wig on from Halloween. And I was thinking like the other time I have some other things like I have a tuxedo that I was just like, let's put that on at one point. Just, if it ever lands on me again, just for ideas to get your head going. So those are the ideas, and now we're gonna do the spin to see what it is.
The costume one sounds fun. I wouldn't mind if it landed on that.
All right, here we go.
We'll see.
It is the soccer skill challenge.
Oh. I don't have any soccer skills without trying.
Yeah, I think right. An easy one might be just to like hit the crossbar, or you can try to do some keepy uppies.
And the worse you're at it, probably the better. It'll be fun. It'll be funny.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean,
crossbar and I failed to do it.
Niall, I don't know if you watched one episode where we had Mark do a special skill of doing jump rope. And it's like he was just like, all right, I got to do like 25 or in a row or whatever, and he's just like, all right, 1, 2, 3, 4, fuck, 1, 2, 3, fuck, 1, 2, fuck, 1, 2, fuck. It wasn't that bad, but it was pretty funny.
I can't jump rope. That would probably be me too. I'd be like, one.
I mean, hey, he got to choose it, so I'm not gonna like.
Oh man,
is what it is.
All right, so amazing. So if basically we might have 3 to show on Saturday. So we'll get that going. We'll make that happen, and I'll at least do the ones that I owe.
Yeah.
But, okay.
Pay what you owe.
But, yes. But Niall, man, with the debut Wheel of Forfeits, man, that's.
And it's probably the easiest one of the group, so be happy.
Yes.
I'm glad I didn't get the ghost pepper one
because you can ask Patrick Fender to the stream. It's not a fun time. I had to do it twice. Also not a fun time. So I just want to read a couple more comments before we conclude. Merrick Gollin says Galad. Wow, I can read. Says Almada might be leaving in January. Yeah, I think that's probably most likely.
Yeah.
I don't see him moving in the summer window. Unless it's like
Yeah.
unless they just they freaking send it when it comes to the bag. I just don't see it though.
No.
The local pundit says, "I'll come on and make bologna with AJ." So okay, he can do that.
Baloney. Yeah, that's some like bachelor shit for sure.
Hey, I mean, you guys are bachelors, maybe. I don't know. I don't know what this situation is.
I think he's married. But yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Baraka says, we yet again bust case, but I'm not complaining. That might be a term I'm not familiar of. I don't know what bust case means. Niall, you're a resident young person, so what the frick does that mean?
I don't even know what that means either. Like, what is that? Bus case? I've
Bus
never
case.
heard anyone say that.
Look it up on a side browser, Michael, on Urban Dictionary.
I have a feeling it was probably just typos, but Baraka, please clarify what you meant in chat before you send me on a wild goose chase. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, bus case is a term for someone in Britain being found not guilty and being let free. So,
Wait.
I'm gonna bet that that's not what he meant, but
I mean, it could be we yet again get free, but I'm not complaining. I don't know. It could be. Who knows? It's kind of like we broke out of jail in this game.
Like a jail-free car? I don't know.
I don't know. I'm stretching a bit here, boys.
yeah, definitely.
No.
So yeah, and then I think there's one more. So fun streak. Thanks, Elliot. And Strong says there are more than 2 months left in the summer transfer window. Yeah, we know. I still don't think Omada's going in the summer window, so that's just my opinion.
I don't
Yeah,
think-
reports have pretty much said that he's at least the front office is not thinking about this window. It's probably going to be the next window.
Yeah.
And again, like we were saying, if we're blown away by an offer, then possibly. But I think it's also posturing from the best standpoint in that, hey, the front office should say that. They should be like, no, we have no intention of moving him. Because that is the strongest negotiating position.
That's right. Art of the deal, AJ, right here.
Art of the deal. Oh, my God.
All right, everyone. Well, that concludes the show for tonight. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for coming to hang out. We look forward to seeing you guys on Saturday. We'll be away taking on New York Red Bulls. And Niall, if you want to say anything else, and then AJ, if you can close us out.
Well, was good. Was a good, fun match today, and hopefully we get a win against that energy drink team.
Where can they find you, Niall?
Oh,
Yes.
Faruqi Nile on Twitter. So if you want to shout me out or just talk, then I'm happy for that. So, and yeah, I once again thank everybody here at ATLutd for having me. So, yeah.
Thanks, buddy.
Love it. And we love having you. And so we will not have a podcast this week. This will pretty much serve as the episode you can catch on your podcatchers and everything else. Pretty much. We kind of talked about the New York Red Bulls match. A little tiny preview, itty bitty preview. But
these weekday matches are tough, guys. I mean, it is what it is. We have lives and jobs, so
Exactly. And, but definitely New York Red Bulls. Let's get to here's our preview. What's your prediction for the scoreline, Niall?
I'm gonna go 2-1 win Atlanta.
Oh, okay. So we're gonna do the double against New York Red Bulls this season. Oh, interesting. Okay, Michael, what's your predicted scoreline?
2-2 draw.
2-2 draw. Okay. All right. I'm unfortunately going 1-1 draw. So, definitely Niall, the most positive.
You're saying 1-1 draw against for the team that has the least,
that is the case.
or that has the most goals conceded against almost, and the most goals scored in the league, and you say 1-1 draw. Okay.
I think it's 1-1 draw because it's this. Like New York Red Bulls, we have a hard time scoring against them, and they haven't been great this season. But have we been winning games? No. So
Didn't have a hard time scoring against them last time we played them.
Yeah.
True, but that was a different story at home. I think that was, I don't know. I don't think it was. I don't think it's a replicable.
Yeah, that's probably fair.
Yeah.
But anyway, okay. Well, let us know what you guys think in terms of that in the comments below. In the actual video.
Yeah.
Like,
let AJ know why he's wrong, please, in the
chat.
chat.
Yeah, you can do that. I could be wrong. Yeah, you know what? But I think if you were a betting man, probably bet on a draw. Like, I would put my money on a draw right now. That's pretty much like what 9 of 11 of the the last results.
Yeah, if history has any sway over this, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Remember to like, share, comment, subscribe. You guys have been awesome in the chat. Now you've been awesome. Michael, you've been awesome. I've been AJ.